Hi everyone, welcome to Kats Creations live on Sunday. I thought on Sundays I would give you guys a totally different view. Plus it makes things super simple for us when we're doing the videos because this is the view private group members get on all of their tutorials. So on Sundays, because I do a video for the private group earlier in the day, it's just so much easier to leave the camera equipment set up. So on Sundays from this point forward, we're going to do an overhead view. Obviously Fridays are going to be regular. So tonight I'm going to show you how we're going to make the 1970s kind of a vintage Merry Christmas wreath. We're using the blues, and this is a different kind of a blue. It's more of like a teal blue, not like a red, white, and blue patriotic blue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a 14-inch dollar tree wreath frame. And before we do that, if you guys like this video, want to replicate it once you get all your supplies in, just go ahead and click the like and follow button for this page. It will give you guys notifications when we go live. And then also if you click the share button, you'll share this tutorial on your page. So much easier to find. If you're new and this is your first time, let us know. We'd like to welcome you. Let us know where you're from. Because sometimes we could be crafting buddies and I don't even know that you're like in the same city that I live in or somewhere close, or you happen to find somebody on the Facebook Live or YouTube where you guys are also in the same close proximity. So the easiest way to show you how to wire your 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame is I've done the first 5 sections for you. Just makes it so much easier. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to wire together the 2 innermost rings. And I'm using this weld and this weld to help me find basically a midway point. It doesn't have to be exact, but it helps if you're somewhat fairly close. And then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. I'm going to use this and the weld mark and kind of go halfway between the both of those. Make sure my pipe cleaner is about the same length. Twist that in place. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. This gives us a grand total of 6 on the inside, 12 on the outside. Total is 18. The sign is a 6x12 sign. This is from Jane's Front Door Decor on Etsy. You can find her for this particular sign if you like it. The mesh that we're using tonight is a red metallic with white snowball mesh, and this is all cut to 20-inch pieces. And I'm going to ruffle this because I want a wide, low, flat base for my sign and for my bow. So the easiest thing for me to do is just kind of go right up that middle center here. And I'm going to place the finished edges to the center of my wreath. And then you also have the finished edges on the bottom. This helps with preventing fraying from occurring because these edges are finished and we have our cut edges kind of folded down and under the ruffle a bit. Then I'm going to remove the ones on the inside. Just going to push that down below. And we're going to keep on going to the very next ruffle until we finish this in all 18 pieces. This mesh is also, because it's that snowball mesh, this has to be cut with a regular rotary cutter. You cannot use the wood burning tool on this mesh because when you get to that snowball or the cotton part of the mesh, it's just going to smoke and not cut. And then that's how we are going to build the base for this one. Because the blue falls under that tertiary color palette, so it becomes really difficult to match it because you're either going to go too blue or too green. It's going to be hard to find an exact match to everything you're going to use. So 2 twists And then we just grab the very next piece. Let me go out of here and get my group up. Oh, here we go. There we go. And we're up. Okay. Do you guys have any questions at all about this particular design so far? I think I mentioned these are 20-inch pieces. Two, three, four, five. Always cut those just right at the edge of where I've twisted that. And that helps it to lay better. I'm pretty careful as I'm fluffing out the rest of my mesh to make sure that I don't, you know, you don't want to pull too hard where it's cut, because then that's where you start to develop those frays we all hate. Okay. There we go. This was a little bit longer piece. So this was exactly how much I had left on the last piece. So I just went a little bit longer rather than cut that off, because it's all going to blend perfectly. And by doing 20-inch cuts, you will only use one roll of Deco mesh. And you won't have anything left over.
Jean, yeah, she's alternating between the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I just go to the very next pipe cleaner I happen to come to, whether it's the top or the bottom. I'll just lay the very next one in right where I come to it. And this just helps, again, to reduce fraying, because I'm not having to come back over and like do all the top ones and then come back in and do all the side ones, and then you have to fight that mesh. It's just easier if you just go to the very next one. So, and I'm ruffling this against the way the mesh comes off the roll, and that creates that little wavy pattern we love. How are you guys doing for a Sunday? Here's my next one.
Wishing I could have 2 more days.
I know, right? We've had a very busy weekend. Very busy week. And then of course this week looks like another busy week. Okay, right here to the bottom.
This is love, retro Christmas designs.
Well, I'm hoping this one you'll love. I actually have about 3 different signs that kind of come in here. I have one that is a train inspired. That's that red, white, and teal. Kind of like a robin's egg blue almost. I have another one that just has Merry Christmas. And I have one that actually is, I think it's Santa's mail in that color palette. So it's actually quite popular for Christmas.
Rhonda, this is a 14-inch Dollar Tree metal wreath form.
Thanks for catching all those questions for me, Steve. Okay, we're back to the inside. Let's grab that. And then I'll go ahead and remove that little thread.
Stormy said she's waiting on a major amount of thunderstorms coming in through midnight and about midnight.
What's that?
Stormy?
Yeah.
Said she's waiting on a bunch of thunderstorms coming in around midnight.
Oh.
Stormy's not out there in Texas.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully it'll just be thunderstorms and nothing more. Can't wait to see this one. Sometimes I'm just as excited as you guys to see what the outcome is. I've had the ribbons ordered for quite some time. I had the 2.5 ordered from last year, and I didn't have any 1.5. So this year, the 1.5 was available, and the 2.5 inch, due to the supply issues, has been sold out or just unavailable to get. So this mesh came from Craft Outlet. This is their red metallic and white snowball mesh. We'll fix that fray. There it goes. Just came out by itself. Okay, we're back to the inside. By inside, I mean closest to the middle. I was tempted to use blue mesh, but it just was not quite the color I wanted. So I opted to pop the blue through the embellishments and the ribbons over trying to match that exact blue. You're either matching it to the sign or you're trying to match it to the ribbon, and you're never going to get a perfect match. Here we go. Just always, I find it's easy if you just take your pipe cleaners on the outside, the ones that are remaining, and just pull those to the outside. It's so much easier for you to find. It keeps it from tangling on the mesh that you're going to be laying into the next pipe cleaner, just to kind of keep them out of the way. Click here. Open that up a bit. Pull it to the bottom. And then we have our inside and outside. 3 more pieces to go. And our base will be built. How do you guys like the overhead view? Easy to see, right? You can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay. And then we have our 2 bottom pieces, and then we're finished.
Dan, there's 18 ruffles total, 12 on the outside, 6 on the inside.
20-inch pieces.
20 pieces, yeah. Cancel. I love that mesh. Reminds me of candy canes.
Yes, this would make a great candy cane base. Now that I think of it. Yeah. Let's take that. I always try to just prep that last piece because it is kind of difficult.
Nice. Hi, Kat Marie from Ohio.
Welcome,
While you're
Marie.
making the wreath, I'm going to try this.
Okay, so if you are a beginner wreath maker, making your base like this is the easiest method if you want to try Deco mesh. Because all you're doing is laying it, placing it, twist tying, and then you just kind of fan it out.
And then Rhonda, she's only cutting the inside 6 pipe cleaners.
There we go. So look how beautiful that is. So measuring, we're measuring from the Deco mesh tip to the Deco mesh tip, and we're sitting at 24 inches right now. Okay, we are going to put in our ribbon. So we're going to start with our 2.5-inch ribbon. Let me show you where this is from. So there's 2 different kinds. So there's one with those vintage retro blown glass ornaments we're probably all familiar, that our parents probably handed down to us. This is from, let me make sure, this is from Craft Outlet. And then also this, I guess you would call it kind of like a starburst pattern, is also from Craft Outlet. And both of these are cut to 14-inch pieces. I like to fold them in the middle so that I know exactly where the middle point is. And then you just gather them. We're going to lay these right inside our pipe cleaners. We're not going to open them. Give them 2 good twists and then fan those to the outside. So we're going to alternate that with the ornaments.
Karen asked if I use a 16-inch, would you make the mesh 25 inches or do you think 20 inches would be okay?
20 inches is fine. So it's just going to depend on how thick your mesh is, whether you need to add more. If it tends to go a little on the thinner side, like maybe Michael's mesh, or there's just some mesh that are really thin to work with, you can work with them, you just have to use more of them. So remember, if you go above and beyond anything greater than 20 inches, you're gonna need a second roll.
Yep.
So
I think she just answered your question.
What's that?
For this, at 18 pieces, at 20 inches, it's 1 exact roll.
Yes.
You can maybe go down to 19 and a half to make sure you have plenty.
Yeah. I always say if you're going to buy one, buy 2, because we just never know what you're going to get. You're never guaranteed that you're going to get exactly 360 inches of mesh on that roll. Sometimes there's a god-awful splice in the middle, and then that really messes up, you know, what you can do. Had that completely change an entire design before because there just was not enough of that mesh. And so from that point on, I've always ordered 2. Okay. So I'm just gathering that. I'm looking for my pipe cleaner. Here it is. I'm gonna pop that blue right in here. And I have a preference for putting the Christmas ornament on the top, just as they kind of touch. My preference is just for that pattern. You could choose the Starburst pattern if that's your preference. Let me find pipe cleaner. And then I'm just taking my fingers and pushing them up underneath that ribbon to get it to pop back out. What I mean by pop is watch what happens if I just put it in there. So there's that. If I was just to pull it, it's not going to do much, but I like to get rid of that little, it's almost like a gather, and I just pop the underside of that and bring that back out. I'll just overlay that on top. Under. Oh, we're almost done with our outside. Pop those back. I'm going to put that back underneath. And then here's one. Sometimes it's easier if you just kind of have them ready to where they're just open. Straight up and down. Makes it so much easier to come in and layer ribbon into that pocket. There we go. Here's another one. Right in here. pop this out, go back underneath, and then one more is going to fit right in here. And that'll finish the 2.5 to our outside. Okay, now we're going to come in with our 1.5 inch, and we are going to take this gorgeous Swiss dot on that same Robin's Egg blue. This came from 5th Street Studios. And then we also have this peppermint, which kind of ties in with the peppermints around our sign. Also the dots on the sign. The peppermints came from Joann's. And that was back in 2019. That was part of their Christmas collection. These are all cut to 18-inch pieces. We are going to pair the peppermints on our Stardust, because this on top of that is a little too busy for me. So half bows are when you take your 18-inch ribbon, you bring your tails together, you're going to pinch in about 2 inches from the top. So that's from here to here. 2 inches here to here. We're going to place that directly inside, just like that. We're pretty much done with that, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim that off right where I have my little twisted pieces.
Bonnie, that's just a regular ruffle design for the mesh.
We're going to take this, wrap this right behind the back of that loop. You're going to open the loop. You're going to have to right side one end of your ribbon, and then you're just going to fan those out.
Thank you, Rita, for sharing or sprinkling.
And that is how you do your half bows. And then the Swiss dot is going to go on top of our ornaments. Just like this. Right inside. And give them about 5 twists. Right behind. It's always easier if you just put your pipe cleaner in the back so you don't have to see it from the front. But you do have to right side that ribbon. There we go. So they all just kind of fall over each other. So we're going to keep going around just the outside and add these. Now it's easier if your pipe cleaners are sideways, like little arms that are going to go in and just hold that. Go around the back, right side your bottom piece.
And so would you do half bows on a football wreath? I am doing an Ohio State wreath for my brother-in-law. Why not?
I like the half bows because they're similar to awareness ribbons.
As long as it's like the football ribbon, right?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. There's so many different things that you can do for football. You know, you can do flex tubing. But yeah, absolutely. Especially if you get the, what do they call it, the football skin print. That looks adorable. When you place it on top of like the yard line ribbon. So as you can see, this is a little darker shade from this, but it still falls within that retro pattern. And I'm a big fan of Swiss dot. I get Swiss dot in just about any color combination. That. This is going to go right behind. We've got to right side that. I like to kind of stagger them so you can still see the print of the 2.5 underneath. Go. Kind of prep my ribbon ahead of time. The little pipe cleaners, make sure they're open.
Marie, the ribbon, the 2.5-inch ribbon, red stars on the blue ribbon came from Craft Outlet. The other 2.5-inch retro ornaments is also from Craft Outlet. Are you on the 1.5 yet?
Yes.
The 1.5 red Swiss on dot on blue is 5th Street, and the other 1.5 peppermint candies on blue is Joann's.
Yeah, I picked this ribbon up a couple years ago, but didn't realize I didn't have the 2.5-inch to go with it. So it literally sat in my ribbon bin until this year when I had everything that I needed to come together.
And the red and white matches from Craft Outlet.
And the sign
And the
is
sign
from
is, yes,
Jane's Front Door Decor on
Jane's
Etsy.
Front Door Decor on Etsy, and I've got that pinned. I don't have the link, I just have the name pinned.
Gotcha. Okay. We're gonna flip that. Almost done. Just about 3 left. Let's get that to kind of offset. Oop. Turned it the wrong way. Sneak this one in. Flip this around. And let's take this and kind of pull that around and under this time so we can see that. 2 more. So many different color combinations. You could have even come back in with red and white peppermint, like a lone ribbon. You don't necessarily have to have everything in the blue and red. Just solid red would look great with this. Or the candy cane print. Looks really nice with this design. Now if we had bubble lights and tinsel, right, and blown glass Christmas bulbs, it'd be perfect. Back behind. Let's remove that. There we go. And there's one right here. Feels like surgery sometimes. Okay, so we're gonna create the bow. So I'm gonna set this to the side while we build our bow. And I'm gonna grab all of our ribbon. We actually have 7. So let me go over where they all came from. So again, the 2.5 inch are both from Craft Outlet. We're gonna put the ornament at the bottom and then our starburst pattern a little bit second. And then here's our Joann's. We have this red lame, which is from Craft Outlet Direct. Our Swiss dot is 5th Street Studios. The blue and white and red diagonal stripe is also from Joann's. Came at the same time as that one. And then we also have this red, white, and blue plaid. This, believe it or not, came from Amazon. So we are going to kind of mix up some of these patterns and break some of them up. I think I want this, however, on the outside. So I want to break up these two. And then we are going to come in between these two with our plaid. So this is how it's going to fall in line. This is an opportunity to play with it, to kind of get through your planning so you know what comes next when we're ready to load our bow dabber with our ribbon. So I'm going to take these and set these to the side. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to dovetail your ribbon edge. Here's that tinsel. So dovetail simply means bring your wired edges together. This is our destination point right here at the very end. We're going to put our scissors along that fold. And depending upon how deep you like your V, some people don't like them very deep. I do. And then you're going to cut from the fold right down to the point, and then you have a perfect V shape or dovetail, ducktail. And I'm going 10 inches in. So I'm going to go 10 inches up. I'm going to gather, and then I'm going to twist right there at the 10-inch mark. That twist is going right inside my bow dabber. And then I'm going to measure out 5.5 inches, and that's from this point to the end. So I'm going to set it on the 10 because it's easier to pull this out and see where is 5.5 inches right there. And then we're going to flip it around and do the same on the other side. Always twisting before we place that ribbon back into our bow dabber. And always measuring. Like that's only 5.25. There's about 5.5. And then back out 10 inches. Cut. Dovetail. And then the first one's done. And I always store my ribbon with a straight pin. Just kind of keeps everything organized.
Connie, that's the size of the sign is 6 inches by 12 inches from Jane's front door to Decor.
Same thing here. We're going to dovetail this. And this one's going to go at 9.5 inches. So start point, finish right here, twist, place it inside your bow dabber. And then get ready to measure your loops. And these ones are going to be 5 inches. So they should fall 1/2 inch so we can still kind of see a little bit of the one underneath. So we want to make sure we have that correct. Twist, push down. I always measure first and then I make the adjustments. That's a little bit. And then out to 9.5 inches. Dovetail again. And we're going to move to our red lame. So I love this because this plays to that sparkle without adding the glitter. And this one's going to be measured at 9 inches. And it's going to be 4.5 inch loops. Up and over. Let's see. That should be about 4.5 inches, but let's double check. Yep. Same to the other side. Get that out of the way so we can actually see it. Okay, and out to 9 inches.
Linda said this view is great, so much easier to follow.
Oh, I'm glad. Okay, so we're gonna go 9 inches. And do our dovetail cut again.
Sharon said earlier her favorite ribbon is a vintage Christmas ball ribbon, the dots and the starburst.
This one or the starburst?
The starburst.
This one here?
Yeah.
Because at first you said the balls, and I was.
Well, she said it's the vintage Christmas balls.
So this one?
The dots and the starbursts are also cute.
Oh, yeah, I like these. These definitely, for some reason, this pattern in particular feels very vintage. Like it came on a lot of the blown glass bowls that we had. So this one is going to be 8.5 inches. This one's also going to be a 4.5 inch loop. So the good thing is that our lame is already cut to that. So if we just put our fingers in both and pull, you get that 4.5 inch. Flip it around, twist, measure. Get that laying in there a little bit better. And then we still have to measure out 8.5 inches, right? 10, 9.5. So I have to do sometimes 9, 8.5. So 8.5. Sometimes you just forget, especially when you're doing 7 or 8, because those are kind of a little bit heavier. So you have to kind of stagger them differently. Okay, we're going to do the plaid. Bring this in. And this one's going to be 8 inches.
Okay, so I had the starburst ribbon and a couple different ones, but I want all the ribbon too.
So this one's going to be 8 inches for our tail, and then it's going to be 4 inches for our loop.
This ice blue is popular this year, and I love it.
Yes. So I think it took a while, somewhat, to kind of catch on. It's definitely not a traditional Christmas color, but it is a trendy color for Christmas. So bring that in and then back out to 8 inches, right at the end. Dovetail.
Hi, Ann, no worries. She's joining late, but from the East Coast, North Carolina.
Well, thank you for taking the time and joining us today. We appreciate you being here. So now we're going to do the diagonal. And remember, we're finishing with the peppermint candies. So this one is 7.5 inches. And this is also going to be 4 inches. So because we have the one directly below that is, let me just move the tails out of the way. We can do the exact same thing. Put your fingers in the loops, give a gentle pull, and then make sure you are at 4 inches. get a better twist on that. Will lay nicer in the bow. And then out. 7.5. Starting to get dark early. Not used to this. Okay. There's that one. And then our peppermints. And this one's going to be 7" for our tail length, and then 3.5" for the loop size. So I'm kind of staggering them 1 inch between the tails, you know, starting at 10 and then bringing them up 1/2 inch every time. 3.5. It's going to be small. So back here, stretch that out. Bring this up and around. Let's just double check that one. Okay. Out to 7 this time. Trying to bring this one right in here. And all of this ribbon is really great quality, so it's really thick. So this is going to create a really gorgeous full bow. I got to get through all the painted part with my pen. Okay, we need a red pipe cleaner or a white pipe cleaner. Hey Steve, can you grab me a red pipe cleaner?
Hold on a second. Something happened with volume.
What happened?
Volume went to max.
That's weird.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, red. I have white. I have every color but red. I have green. I just need one red. And then we'll get this done and fluffed. Thank you, sir. Okay. So as I'm lifting this up out of the bow dabra, I am pushing down on the front and on the back with my thumbs to compress that ribbon. I'm going to hold this open and then get a good twist on my pipe cleaner. And if you hold the pipe cleaner and twist the ribbons, so much easier on your hands.
It's so neat and organized. Love it.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm loving the bow. Purchased a day activities times in 3 weeks.
I know. Can you believe that?
Hi, Roseanne. She said hi from Illinois. First time watching you.
Thank you for joining us.
Nicole said hello from Mississippi. This is my first time watching. Love the colors.
Thanks, Nicole, for joining us. Okay, so this ribbon now. This is an 18 by 24 inch wood cutting board. You can save the money by going to your home improvement stores and getting a 24 by 24 inch piece of wood, about 1 inch thick. Pick up 1.5 inch to a 2 inch wood, like it's a C-hook or a cup hook, and you just screw it into the wood. The only reason I use the board, I like flat surfaces to fluff my bow, but can't really fluff it on the cutting mat because the ribbon would just slide everywhere. So we need something to hold the ribbon, which is where our C-hook kind of comes into play. And you just loop it like that, and then you start to separate. So we're going to pull a loop to the left. We're putting our tail to the right, and then we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to put our tail on this side and a loop on this side. So that, if I was to pick this up and look, my tails are opposite and the loops are opposite. We're going to do the same thing as we bring this one down. We're going to pull our tail to the opposite in our loop, go back to the other side, and you're going to pull your tail this way, and our loop is going to go this way. So that what it's doing is it's alternating loops and tails of different colors as we go down through the stack every 2 ribbons. So here we follow the same pattern. If you want, if you have different ribbons, it's entirely up to you. You can mix and match and put them whatever way. Just whatever you do here, you have to do the opposite on the other side. Otherwise, it just doesn't look great. So here's our tail. I'm going to pull my loop out so they're opposite. Then we're back here with our Swiss dot. Okay, I haven't even started fluffing. I'm just separating. So many people just start fluffing, and you need to separate the stack first. Okay, we're going here and this side over here, following along here and here, and then our final one ends here and ends here. So now kind of what we have is all the tails are kind of in the middle and all the loops are at the top and the bottom. From here, as you're standing over your bow, separate what you like to see. You can decide, you know, where do you want your tails to fall? Where do you want loops to fall? Do you want something to fall in between? Do you prefer, you know, one off to the side? I'm going to pull this way over here. I'm going to put this one right up in the middle. And I'm going to pull my lame over as soon as I can get inside. Go over here. Kind of make that one pop over there. And then don't forget your ones at the bottom. Make sure you get in there and lift those loops up. Here. And then here. And then if you need to adjust any of your loop or tail size, maybe you just don't like them, maybe you feel like one should be just a touch lower than the other. Like this one, I just want it a little bit shorter on this side. And then if you want to put the arc back in them, so they kind of have a little bit of life in them, you just kind of run your fingers under and over the top. And that'll kind of put the really pretty arcs back in your bow. So they're not laying flat, but a little bit more three-dimensional. Just like so.
Hi Clara, hi Wanda. Both said better than ever. Catching from Arkansas, and Wanda said hi from Florida. First time catching your live. I've seen many replays and love them.
Thank you.
So she said I found the hard way. If it's not good ribbon, separating is a fight. It
is. So here is our ribbon. It's all done. Like I said, you don't have to have your tails all here. You can intersperse them in your ribbon. It's up to you as a designer. I'm just going to push this off the same way I put it on so that it all stays somewhat fluffy. Go ahead and bring our wreath back so we can add our sign, and then we'll go ahead and place our bow. So move this off to the side, and I'm going to use 22 gauge floral wire, and this is the Beadsmith 1.5, there it is, 1.5 millimeter hole punch, metal hole punch. Works just like a hole punch does on paper. You're just going to punch a hole inside the sign. Try to line it up as best as you can. There we go. And I prefer to use the floral wire. especially when I'm working with the natural mesh like this. The pipe cleaners have a tendency of getting hung up, and it's hard for me to get them through sometimes. So if I just do it with the wire, it works out much better. And you can get this pretty much anywhere. I think I got mine at Joann's. And we're going to build the sign from the back, meaning where we do all the twisting, we don't want it off to the side. We want it to the back so that the wire stays behind the sign and not off to the side. So I'm just twisting down here about 5 times. Just kind of builds up this nice little even little backing right here. So then it keeps my wire to the back of my sign. Do this here. Do the exact same thing. One more. Okay. Here we go. All right, we are going to be placing this right in the middle. We're gonna have our bow kind of up here, kind of taking out this much real estate. So what I'm going to do is hopefully, just like right there is my middle pipe cleaner. The ones that we cut off earlier, I already know that that is right to the middle of my frame. I just need to make sure I get my wire on either side. Bring that back over. Don't want to pull it too tight because then it just looks like it's mashed in there. But you also want it tight enough to where it's just not free floating everywhere. This should come right back over, and it did, right here. Right over our other one from the center. Make sure those go on opposite sides of your wire frame. Go ahead and pull that down. Okay, then we need to get rid of this hard line that's right here. So this is where your mesh that you have worked on the outside is going to come into play. So you're going to gently pull that out so that it just frames the outside. So I'm going to carefully pull all this up. It likes to stick to one another, especially to the snowball. So there's our loop, just like that. We're going to do the other end right here. Spin this around. Here's all that mesh. Just like that. Go back over to the other side. And we're going to pull this up. Trying to not pull the center one in. Just the exterior side. So that we have that nice little pretty wave going through there, like just like that. Okay, I'm not going to do it here because if I put my bow there, it's going to push my bow up higher than I want it to go. So I am going to attempt to keep my loops the way that I have my loops. These are going to frame that sign. So I'm laying them right over the edge of my sign. Yes, I realize it's going to smash one of my outside half bows. That's okay.
Joyce asks, is there a way you could attach a sign so a customer could easily switch it out with another?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, even the way she does it, really, all you have to do is go to the back of it and just untwist it.
I would probably do pipe cleaners so they're easier to see rather than the floral wire.
Excellent. So enjoying this brief tutorial, watching from Louisiana.
Oh, thanks.
Sharon, thank you. She said, looking lovely cat.
Thank you. Okay, so now I am going to readjust my ribbon. This way it goes across the top, across the side. And then we have our loops. I'm trying to get this one. Sometimes we just have to readjust this. Don't want these laying on my sign. Sometimes you just need to give it a little pull back. Okay. So that if we spin this around, I'm listening to my wire drag right now. We have those.
Of course, I've often wondered why some people hide their mesh with so much ribbon. Yeah, I like having the mesh show out because it's really pretty.
Yeah. So there is.
Right, Sharon, she said too much ribbon takes away from the mesh.
So there is. Let me just kind of fan this way. Kind of make the end go underneath. So this has a place to lay. Okay. Just like that. Okay. There we go. Make sure these are not flat. Okay, so now we need to come in and add some embellishments. We're going to come in and add in, let me pull some of this right here, vintage ornaments. We're also going to come in and add some peppermints. The first thing though I want to do is I want to grab the largest items. So I have these teal colored balls. Don't ask me where I got them. I honestly don't know. I have a 3 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot high giant plastic tub full of balls that I just find from random places. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck these in and around. I love this color because it really takes this ribbon and elevates that. This guy got a little smashed, but no worries. Let's see if we can find him a home. Just like that.
Oh, thank you, Clara. She sent 100 stars.
Oh, thanks, Clara. I appreciate that.
Trying some cuteness overload.
Okay, so I'm going to attach these. So the first thing I want to do is pull the tips off my plastic bulbs. Because if you glue them on, sometimes the glue adheres to the plastic tip, but not to the actual ball. And we need it to stay on the ball. Because I've had it to where the tip will pull off, but let's get this one to kind of go up and around. I'm going to hold that one because the other ones kind of have little self-made pockets. This one kind of doesn't. These ones just naturally fell into a hole.
Richard said, looks great as always, Kat.
Thank you. Okay, so it's like frosting a cake. So we're just gonna, or a cupcake, we're just gonna go all the way around. That is gonna go right into my mesh. Just like that. I'll go ahead and pull the end off of this one. Frost your cupcake. And yeah, I go right over the hole. I'm gonna go right in here.
Richard asked if I inspire you. Nope, she thinks of these all on her own.
There we go. Isn't that pretty?
Beautiful.
I love those. And then I have a couple fun little whimsical things. So we have these ornaments that I've had. So they're red, white, and that teal blue. I have one in each color. So I have it in red with the white and the blue. Set that to the side. I have one in blue with the red and the white, just because I felt like these were a little bit vintage. And then the white with this. So we're going to come in and just kind of tuck these in. So one's probably going to go there. We'll add a red one here. I'll tuck this one in right in here. So it has its own little nestled home. So while that idea is still fresh, let me go ahead and do this. So let's frost our cupcake.
Quicker said I do it the hard way. I glue the tip to the ornaments and then attach with adding wire to the ornaments, then to the wreath. Too many steps.
Yeah, just make it, you know what? At some point you'll like downsize that and be like, everything's getting glued. So, and I always use the shatterproof or plastic ornaments just because sometimes you could get a really good gust of wind that comes along. Where did we say we're putting this one? I think right here. And it'll knock the wreath off. Shatterproof ornaments, not to worry. They're plastic. So I don't use glass on anything. Unless there's a note. Unless the customer asks for something specific. So I'm going to tuck this one down and under. Look how pretty. Okay. Also in here we have some little candy ornaments. I think I have 3 that are exactly the same. So we're just going to kind of tuck those in down in here.
And so the ornaments just totally make this over the top. I love it.
Thank you. So these ones just have a tendency of putting the ornament hangers on the ends. So I'm just taking my wire cutters and pulling this off. And we're going to kind of tuck, trying to think of how I had it. One like there, because this is the area you see the most. And then we'll tuck one in up in here, just like that. So before I forget where those are going to go and that I haven't glued them, I'm going to glue the tips because this is technically where it's getting tucked in up under my mesh, right in here. And we're going to do this one, but I'm going to take that ornament tip and actually put that ornament side down, or ornament whole side down. We need more glue. So let's go ahead and get that on. This is going to go right under this mesh. Just tuck it up underneath that loop.
Just so it's peeking out.
Just
that's
so.
all you need.
Exactly. Same thing here. We've got the whole side. We're going to put the whole side up under a mesh. Nobody needs to see that. We're going to tuck that one in. Just like that. Maybe that. I'm going to have a couple last minute things, like there's anything more. So Hobby Lobby has these plastic little candies that come in a pick like this for 99 cents. But then if you you get your 40% off, it's like 60 cents. So I just come in and snip them all off, and then I have individual little candy pieces, which I'm going to just go right underneath my loop. And I'm going to add my little candy pieces right under my loops. I just find it's harder sometimes to try to glue it on your wrapper.
John said that wreath definitely says Christmas is here.
Doesn't it? There's that one. It's just definitely something pretty. Sometimes your wrappers or your wrappers start to come undone. Just give them a good twist. That one, we already have it underneath. Let's go ahead and get this one here with a little peppermint.
Claire said, have you heard about the price increasing when new supplies get here?
Well, I think everything is always going to have a price increase. So I'm going to break this one up a bit and bring it way over here. That way I don't have two rounds next to each other. Because somebody's got to pay for their shipping containers that are costing almost like 10 times probably what they should have. tie. Come up here. Just make sure those are twisted on fairly well. What's he doing? Just being weird?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and add one of these here. And then I think I have another one over here. Yeah. So let's go ahead and remove the paper. Give it a couple twists. Back underneath.
Right, Richard? He said all the little embellishments are the little treasures to see when you're admiring their work.
Well, yeah. I think it's a nice touch for the customer because they're things they're not going to see. Like they're going to see an initial purchase where they like what, you know, it's a clickable thing, right? They're going to like what they see. So I'm going to add a little blue bulb in here as well. So we're going to add a little sparkle to the inside of our bow. Put one here. Just so we have a nice little blue sparkle. And then I'm going to, because I think there was one up here, two up here that did not have candy in it. So we need to give it some candy so that these go all the way around, except where the candy cane ornament is. So one under here. Tuck that one in. And I can't wait to show you guys what this looks like. We're kind of missing the whole door image, but I will share pictures tomorrow because right now it's extremely dark out.
So this is already available for sale right on your website.
Yes, it is.
Look for the sign.
Yes, it is. Trust me, you'll want to grab it because the price point is fairly low.
And you can also find steps on where to join your private group you're going to.
Yeah, so if you guys want to come join my private group, we do 2 additional design classes a week, all the way through mid-December. And you won't miss out on anything. Matter of fact, you'll just be that much further ahead of the curve. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that we kind of kept it kind of vintage without going way crazy on the vintage side of things?
Definitely retro.
Yeah, definitely retro, right? Okay, so there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this view. Friday we'll be back to regular standard view, and we'll come up with something incredible to show you and teach you on that as well. But I hope you enjoyed this look back into the 70s kind of retro vintage for Christmas. And I will talk to all of you next week Friday. Bye everyone. Have a great night.